Not yet. Damn.
Now.
Welcome to the Indie Corner. I'm Mikey.
Damone, go say your name.
I'm
We're working with it.
I'm Damone.
I'm Matt.
And making
I'm
his
Christian.
first debut, Christian.
I didn't know I was getting an introduction.
You're getting an
Hi,
introduction, bro. It's your first time.
I'm Christian. How's it going?
He's popped this podcast cherry.
Yes, there we
All
go.
right. All right.
First podcast for the new podcast chair. It's really exciting. Michael, what are we
Yeah.
doing here, my man?
Yo, so it's gonna be a different type of podcast. You know what I mean? Taking a break from like the Marvel, DC stuff. You know, the saga, the Clone Saga stuff, and the Calcast stuff. Great podcast. Check those out. Great plug-in. We're gonna do independent comics, specifically the greatest superhero comic in the universe, Invincible, written by Robert Kirkman, drawn by Cory Walker, and later the great Ryan Ollie, who's killing it on Amazing Spider-Man right now.
I just like to say, you do not speak for all of us. That's your opinion, but
No,
I do agree with it.
It says it on the book later, right, Damone? It says it on the book.
It's a tagline. The current tagline, however, is girls, acne, homework, supervillains. When you're a teenager, it helps to be, and then the title of the book, which is Invincible.
Yeah. So
We're also trying something new. This podcast, we call it 50% audio only, where I don't have video and Mikey's hardly works at all. So
yeah, yeah. So
it's a hybrid podcast.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, so we're doing this book Invincible, which is basically this, I would say, episodic type coming of age superhero story with the main character named Mark Grayson. What I like about this book is that Robert Kirkman plays with a lot of superhero tropes and does the exact opposite of what you're expecting. And also the art is like, it's killer. Like, well, the next 7 issues is just Cory Walker doing the book, which also he co-created it with Rob Kirkman. But when Ryan Ollie comes in at like the 8th issue, it just escalates. But we're doing the introduction, the first 8 issues. It's a pretty slow burn. Just basically like setting up the world of Invincible. So yeah, we'll get right to it.
Let's do it.
All right, so woo! Get the claps in now. Yeah, so the first.
Oh yeah, that makes for a good
I'm ready.
podcast.
That was even way better than what I did. All right, yeah. So the first issue is basically a flash forward. We get Invincible throwing a dude with a bomb on his chest in the Arctic. Yeah, so just getting a look about the costume and whatnot. And then we get a flash forward of, Mark Grayson, average teenager, on the toilet reading the comic.
That's actually a flash backwards.
Yeah, flash backwards. My fault. Thank you.
And then what comic is that? None other than
Issue
Science Dog.
Quay.
Oh yeah, Science Dog, which is like Mark Grayson's favorite comic book character in this universe, who also makes an appearance in this book later, and he's great.
Science Dog is a dog furry that saves the world.
Yes.
Science Dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Science Dog.
Yeah,
He
it's
has
later
his own
on.
spin-off series
There's
we'll
this.
end up reading most likely.
Yeah. But also, if y'all didn't know, me and Damone have read this book already. Christian and Matt are like new to it. We're the ones who dragged them into this podcast. So
They're invincible virgins.
they're invincible virgins.
So that means our boy Christian's a double virgin.
Yeah.
I don't love this title.
Yeah, so we get Mark Grayson on the toilet reading Science Dog, and then we get an introduction to his mom, Deborah.
Who's hot.
Grayson. Okay, yeah.
Just want to put that in there.
She's a little hot. And then like they're having a discussion, like him's getting ready for school, blah blah blah. He's like, "Where's Dad?" And yeah, totally, Dad's on the news, fighting a dragon, and his name is Nolan Grayson, aka Omni-Man, who's basically the Superman of this universe. Yeah, Robert.
Better.
Yeah, he's a lot cooler than Superman.
I'm not even arguing cooler. I just think he's legitimately more powerful than Superman might be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or at least
Literally,
the base Superman. The base Superman, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, that I could agree with.
Yeah, like later down the line, you get to like see how powerful him and his son actually are.
He's definitely not. He's definitely not cooler than Superman, though. That's not.
No, I'm not trying to argue that. I'm trying to argue that.
I mean, for me, not power wise, but like personality wise, he's cooler than Superman.
Personality wise, he's a dad. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it would not be above him to make
Just-
a dad
Come on,
joke
know
every
what I'm
once in a
talking
while.
about. Wait, we'll see for now. And
Mm.
he's fighting a dragon, and then Mark gets ready for school. We get introduction to his best friend William, who's an average kid. He gets a pretty good storyline like later in the series. He's pretty
Yep.
funny.
Wearing a shirt that says rap insteed of gap. Just throwing it
I
out there.
hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we see Mark going for work. He works at this fast food joint called the Burger Mart, throwing out trash. You know, pretty average kid doing a job while he's in school. And then while he's throwing out the trash, he
Launches it.
Yeah, he just
Just
chucks a garbage bag, which you assume would go into the garbage bag, but it just goes into fucking space.
I'm also gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna assume right now he did not follow up on that garbage bag.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make an appearance anywhere.
In issue 207, the garbage bag comes back.
I was
I'm
really
right
hoping
back
for the
into
dangling plot thread.
Yeah, that would be great. And then like Mark's just like he doesn't say like, oh my god, I have powers, just like finally. And like
Yeah.
that's it.
He's
And
been
then we
expecting this.
Yep.
Yeah, he was expecting this. So then we get a shot with his mom and him having dinner. Basically trying to like catch up on what happened like during the day. And then like his dad just like whooshes in.
Whoosh.
Like, yeah. And he's just like telling him how his day was, said, yeah, I fought the dragon, whatnot. And then like Mark's like, hey, yeah, I got my powers today. And he's like, okay, that's cool, honey. Pass the potatoes. Like she just doesn't even. She's like, it's just a normal thing. Just brush it aside. Like,
Like
I mean,
that's going to be a thing throughout at least the 8 issues we're reading, and I'm assuming it's the rest of the series as well.
Yeah.
Where superpowers seem really mundane.
Yeah, they're just like a normal thing. And
I'm
it's
high
just,
key upset about that. Not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
it makes sense in a world with super villains and superheroes, especially when you're expecting your son to have powers. It's just gonna happen.
It's
Yeah.
very
Alright.
it's very reminiscent of like My Hero.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just want to
And-
say that like he was excited, you know?
Yeah.
Invincible was really excited, and I was like, all right, Mom, can you at least be a bit supportive of your son?
Yeah, no,
You know?
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
But it was
I mean-
funny though that she did not give a shit.
Yeah,
about
I
his
mean,
son
like Robert
his
Kirkman like made it clear that like he's doing the exact opposite of like what superhero comics typically are, and then like say like in a Marvel DC comic they'd be like, oh my god, this is amazing, like you have powers, and but here it's just like nah, like it's a pretty normal thing. So
I can appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's sticking true with what he sought out for the series. So and you'll see that throughout the whole book, the whole series of Invincible. And what else? Oh yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna jump off my roof to see if I can fly, because like if my dad could fly, that means I could fly, and that means also I'm invulnerable. But what if like I'm not invulnerable? That means I also can't fly. So this is like big risk. But then he's like, screw it, he just jumps off and turns
And
and
he
fly.
falls and dies, and the book's over. We're done.
And the book's over.
Thanks for
But-
watching.
It was
Can
such
you
a good
actually
book.
imagine
Anyway,
if, like,
next
he
up.
legitimately got hurt from that? Like he only got one power from his dad. It was just super strength and nothing
Yeah.
else.
Oh, just like what? Superboy from Young Justice.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if that actually happened, it would remind me of like the other guys where they jump off the building and you just expect them to live, like The Rock and Sam Jackson. You expect them to live, but they just die. And, like,
Okay,
Yeah. It took me a second to remember that. Yeah.
yeah. It would be like that scene of the other guys. It'd be kind of
Yeah,
like that. It's
aim
hilarious.
for the bushes, but
Aim for the bushes.
there were no bushes anywhere near them.
So after we get this little flight scene, we get into a scene with a bank robbery, where we get introduced to a character that'll come later, in Invincible named Titan. Though he's like a big, huge like rock dude, and this other guy robbing a bank, and Invincible comes in. Well, he's not named Invincible yet. He's still working on a name and whatnot, in a costume. He's in this terrible. I don't even know how to describe this.
Audio's fantastic.
He has like some goggles, a handkerchief covering his mouth, and like a long red shirt and like track pants. It's so funny. And follows this crime. And I like to make a note, like once he punches Titan, it's like revealed that he's an actual person. Like he's not like the thing where like it's this permanent. It's actually like an exoskeleton he puts around himself, like a rock, like kind of like rock armor.
I mean, unless it is an exoskeleton and he just like horribly disfigured this man, which would suck.
Yeah, yeah. He just disfigures this man to foil a crime. Yeah, that's funny. And then his dad's over there, just like, "Hey, son, doing a good job. You've been practicing, doing crime for 2 weeks, but you need to get rid of that damn costume. It's ugly.
Because it is an ugly costume.
It's really
Yeah.
bad."
And they traded it for an even uglier costume.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then make a note what Christian said. They've taken to a superhero tailor. His name's Arthur Rosenbaum, aka Art. He also has a good line in the Invincible story later on. I think it's funny that like how in comics like they have these grandiose cool costumes, and like for example like for Spider-Man, like he has a really cool costume, but like I wouldn't expect him to make it on his own. Like, but so in this universe they have a tailor that makes all their costumes for him, so that's pretty cool.
I mean, Michael, that exists in the Marvel universe as well.
Yeah. Oh, does it? I didn't know
man.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Superhero tailor.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. All right. I have no idea about that. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it. So
is there like a membership that you have to sign up for?
Well, I mean, he
Is
ended
it
up
like
being
Amazon
the
Prime?
tinkerer. He ended up
you
being a
have to-
tinkerer in
okay.
disguise. So like,
I don't think there's a membership in Invincible universe.
Wait,
but I
hold
think
up. I'm sorry to be on a side tangent. I just really want to make sure I understand that it's in the sky.
in disguise, but you're good.
in the Marvel universe, right?
In the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
So you need to have a membership with airlines.
No, disguise.
In disguise. I heard the
Facade.
sky. All right.
Did you think
Continue, please.
The sky, like a plane?
I thought it was in the sky, like on a cloud. There's a guy making suits.
Shut up! No, shut up.
No, Christian, that's fine. Nah, but he gets a new costume from Art, and it's this yellow and orange type suit with solar panels, because he thought that Nolan's powers originally were solar power, making a nod to like Superman. But then Nolan's like, yeah, it's a common mistake, so it's whatever. It's not your fault.
It's like radiation, right?
Yeah, solar radiation, like UV rays and stuff like that, like Superman. But we'll see this costume later again, right, Damone? Right? Damone,
We will indeed. Yes, we will indeed.
We'll see this costume later again. But then Art is talking with Mark, telling him, hey, like, if you don't like the costumes, like, yeah, it doesn't seem that iconic to me. He's like, okay, yeah, so you don't have a name yet, so let me, let's take a few days to come up with a name, and then I'll work it from there. It's like, yeah. So we pick it back up with Mark at school. He's in class, bored out of his mind. Later, a bully comes at him. Not comes at him directly, but there's a kid that is being bullied next to him is at the locker right next to him, and Mark tries to stop it, and basically like just takes his bully and just pushes him against the locker, which gets him in trouble with the principal. And this is probably like one of my favorite scenes in the first issue, because like the principal's like, Mark, I didn't expect this from you, like that's not what you seem like you would do. He's like, yeah, it won't happen again. And then I'm trying to get the exact panel over here. And he's just like, that boy is almost twice your size. It's not your responsibility to protect the other kids here. You're not invincible, And then Mark's just like, with a smile on his face, like, I guess that's what my name is. He's like, I guess I am invincible because I'm bulletproof and shit. So
I really like that.
Yeah,
it's really
now I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe he's emotionally invincible. I think he's show.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what, Damon? You're right.
Yeah, the one
really,
he is.
I think that's the better kind of invincible to be.
Yeah, emotionally invincible.
Yeah. I just want to say, the bully, when he was like bullying the nerd, he was like, hey, why don't you say that to my face? I think the bully might be in the right. I don't know the full story behind it, but that nerd might be doing some shit in the background. He might have like hacked into his Xbox and like talked some shit to him. I don't know. But please continue, Mikey, from where you left off.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we get back into it depends. The next scene's a robbery, an armed robbery. These masked men are robbing a bank, and then Mark comes in with this new costume, the costume which he will basically have for the rest of the series. We'll go through like different changes and whatnot. It's really cool. It's one of my favorite costumes, like in comics.
It's a big eye, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, it's as a nod to Image, which is what Invincible was produced by.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I wouldn't try that. I'm invincible. And he's lifting the car up at these guys, and then the issue 1 ends.
Also, I just want to point out, I really love how this man holds a gun up to someone who's holding a truck above his head and says, I'll shoot you.
All right.
Like,
I mean,
he might not be invincible. Like, you don't know.
I agree with
guess
that.
I guess that's true,
Yeah,
but my reaction isn't offering to shoot someone who has a truck over their head and is flying.
That's true. The intimidation of that on its own would probably make me think, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't piss this guy off. Maybe it's not the best idea. Maybe run. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that's the first issue of Invincible. The second issue picks up with Nolan. The feeling this is like Mark talking to Mark when he's around, let's say, I don't think they say an age. I think it's like, I'll say like 10 years old.
I was gonna say 10. Yeah, we'll go with 10.
Around 10 years old. Basically,
I
like
think he was closer to 9.
9. Okay.
I'm actually gonna say 11.
Okay.
I really think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's quite that old, but
If you're gonna say
Mark's only
9, you're gonna say
17.
11.
Mark's only 17 and senior in high school, so I don't know.
I might have to say 16 right in this.
now wait a minute.
See?
He also he has an 8 on his shirt, so he's probably 8 years old.
Okay.
Did he have an 8 on his shirt?
Yeah. And I just looked. And also, that's how it works in the real world, where up until you're 16, you have to wear your age on your shirt.
Yeah, I still have like
I thought it was 18.
Was it 18?
When you're considered an adult, right? You stop telling people your age.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, I think Demon's right.
Like once you can vote, you don't have to tell people your age anymore because it doesn't matter.
It's been such a long time since I was 18. I could be completely wrong.
How many people asked you about your age?
Now,
like,
not many.
Not anymore.
No, like growing up.
Never, because my name was always on the back of my shirt.
Chris, what are you doing, man?
I wanted to talk about the shirt thing, but then you went on a side tangent. And I got completely confused.
We were talking about the shirt thing.
I was on a bullshit level here. You're on a bullshit level way up here. And
hey, we don't curse on the Invincible cast.
Exactly.
Is that canon? Is that canon? Okay. Well, since I'm podcast chair, can I change that, or do you guys just not respect me enough?
I don't want to answer that question because I don't want to hurt you.
Right. Well, back to the freaking issue.
Sorry, Mikey.
You got it. Yeah, so we get Nolan's talking to 9 to 11-ish Mark Grayson, basically giving the spiel like, oh, you're old enough.
Let's just say 10.
Yeah, we'll say 10. Yeah, so 10-year-old Mark Grayson giving him the spiel saying, hey, you're old enough. I want you to know where I'm from, what you're about, just so that you can prepare for it when you get older. So basically we get Nolan's backstory. He's from a planet called Viltrum. So he's a Viltrumite. They're basically a super advanced race. They all have superpowers, essentially just flight, super speed, and vulnerability.
Well, I mean, are they really superpowers when everyone on the planet has?
Yeah. You know what? I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, that's their natural physiology is that they have these abilities, but also like longevity and all the other stuff. Not like heat vision and all that other shit. Just those core ones. Basically, they're a perfect global society, so they have no war, no crime. It's the perfect utopia there. They're basically their civilization is peaked entirely. So they decided, hey, we're bored. We've basically done everything. Why as well just like go to lesser developed planets and make sure that they can be on our level. Let's help these planets out, you know? So they make this council, and it's called like the World Betterment like organization, which they go to other planets, research the life and the race there to see if they're as developed enough to accept their offerings and like their technology and what have you. And they basically go and better that society so that they can reach their potential. And Nolan, when he was of age, he was drafted and went on this mobile ship, scouting these planets. He found Earth. He's like, Earth is interesting. He's like, I'm drawn to these people. He's like, hey, let's see if they can, we can better these guys. They're just like, nah, fam, they suck. So, we're just gonna go to the next planet and just move on. And he's like, you know what? Instead of us helping them out, let me be their sole protector. How's that sound? He's like, yeah, sure, you got it. So he goes there. He basically gets in touch with part of society. He's like, this is amazing. Becomes their protector, their Superman essentially. And he meets Mark's mom a year after that. And then this is my favorite part of like that whole spiel. He basically gives Mark the puberty talk. He's just like, Mark, going through changes when you're gonna get older. You're gonna, you're gonna get hair in strange places. You're gonna grow taller. You're gonna have more feelings with girls, and you're also gonna get superpowers. And
a magnum dong.
Basic puberty. I understand it. Everyone needs this talk.
Yeah, everyone has this talk. And then I like how there's like 3 panels, and Mark's just like, out of all that explanation, the origin and the puberty talk is like, so I get to fly?
My favorite part about this is he doesn't even look that excited.
Yeah,
no.
They keep the same face the entire time.
And he's just like, so I can fly. And he's just like, and then it cuts to Mark being like, yep, I can fly in his bed. In his bed in the present. So
he's a long boy, isn't he? Look at him. He's so long.
Yeah, he's a lanky boy.
Right.
Mark, lanky boy. So he decides to, go. He's bored. So he goes out in his pajamas, like he's shirtless and only has pajama pants on. He flies out of his window. Just enjoy, the fact that he can fly, and which is pretty cool. Because I mean, like, flight is a cool power. So, so then he comes across one of my favorite villains in the Invincible series, the Mauler twins. Well, it's only revealed with the Mauler right now, but eventually later in the issue, you'll see the other Mauler. So the Mauler twins, and he's robbing I think it's like an arcade. Like a warehouse with like a bunch of
warehouse, yeah.
An arcade warehouse with a bunch of game boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Matt and Christian, the Mauler twins, this is why they're one of my favorite villains, because they're just like a running gag where like they're essentially clones of like a scientist, and also like they're for our audience, they're these huge like brolic like blue guys who are also like engineers and like really smart. They're clones, but they don't know which one is like a clone or which one is the actual like original person, so they just argue with each other on who's who, and it's so fucking funny. Like
so what you're saying is that this podcast is a Clone Saga spinoff.
Yes.
I mean, we're not gonna go that far. But
did you get the email?
Back to the saga of the Clone Saga, aka the Clone Zone. This is the podcast about the S.H.I.E.L.D. went to you do the entire Oh my god, never mind. It's done.
The bit, it died midway. The funnies, they're all dead.
He started having flashbacks. So
the PTSD kicked in. So the Mauler twins come in. They have a little fight, and then we get introduced to the Teen Team, which are literally the Teen Titans.
No, they're the Teen Team, Mikey.
But Robert
completely
Kirkman,
original.
Teen Titans. Like,
completely original.
Yeah, completely original, of course.
Yeah,
sorry.
Based on nothing.
Yeah. And the Teen Team are composed of Robot,
Gambit, Multiple Man, and Cyborg.
Yeah, Cyborg, Starfire, Gambit, Multiple Man.
But can we get the actual names, please?
Yeah, the actual names.
Yeah, the actual name. Robot, who's essentially like Cyborg, Adam Eve, Rexplode, and Duplicate. It's Dupla hyphen Kate, like the name. Yep. Just to be clear, they intervene, and they together with Mark, they stop the Mauler twins, and then they're
Mauler.
They stop the Mauler. Yeah, the one Mauler. So then they just get acquainted. They're just like, hey, nice costumes. Like, yeah, I didn't have a chance to get it out of the thing. I didn't really prepare for a battle. So like they introduce themselves. It's like, hey, if you want to come to our base, we want to hang out and like go on mission stuff, you can. It's like, what's your name? My name's Invincible. And like how Robot's like cute, but like, bro, your name's Robot. Like,
the audacity of this man.
Yeah, there's a lot. That was a lot of thought into that damn name.
Like, you're not even. It's not even a name. You're just saying what you are.
Yeah.
I am human, man. All the powers of a human.
Fun fact, I was watching a video and like Robert Kirkman said like he wanted him to be called Robot Boy, and then Cory Walker's like, no, that's lame. Just get rid of the boy. Call him Robot.
God, I miss Robot Boy.
Robot's kind of a dick, isn't he?
Yeah. He's pretty dickish. He gets a
Robot. You'll learn more about Robot the more we read. But,
yeah.
All right.
Robot was a sad life right now.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, then Mark makes a nod to Adam Eve. He's like, hey, you look familiar. And he's like, yeah, you look familiar too. And then the team leave, and then it cuts to the next day at school where Mark sees Adam Eve. And turns out they go to the same high school and they're in the same biology class. And they're just like, oh shit, like Eve's like, oh my god, you've been a superhero this entire time. And like we've been in the same class for like a while. It's like, yeah, small world. So then
also, I just want to mention something. Going forward, the more we learn about their school and what they actually have, they're in every fucking class together. And it's a shame they haven't realized it.
It's so funny.
Also, none of them have Wait, no, Invincible does have a mask. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
Yeah,
she does.
Adam Eve
and then she gets surprised when people recognize her. I don't know why.
Yeah, Duplicate and her are the only ones that don't have a mask. Or, yeah.
Because apparently the men are smarter in this universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who? The author has some opinions.
Word. Anyway, they want to go to the HQ, so then they go to the local garbage bin outside of their school, and that's where Eve usually gets changed. And then once they get changed, this is one of my favorite things in this. Also, one of my favorite things in this issue is like, so Mark's like, hey, how are you worried that like no one's gonna like see us when we go fly away? And he's like, then it cuts to the next panel. I was like, you'd be surprised how rarely people look up, and they're just like, that's funny.
It's the cell phone culture. It's rotting our brains. Get off your phones.
Yeah, I mean, this was what 2003, so like flip phones should have been.
I mean, unless you're watching our podcast, in which case keep
please
your face in your phone. Yeah.
For the love of God, please. We love you. We need you.
The views. This is how we make money, and we're dirt poor.
I'm completely ignoring Damon's mansion in the background. We were all dirt poor.
As a club, I say. As a club, we have $25 in our bank account.
Is that wow? When do we get $25? Really? Do we actually have $25 in a bank account?
Yeah. We've had $25 in the bank account for as long as I can remember. I have no idea how I got there.
Yo.
All right.
We are swimming in it.
All right.
Continue.
So, it cuts to once they fly off, they go to the Team HQ. They're met by Robot saying that Duplicate and Rex are on the mission, and he needs help with a mission he's currently doing with the Mahler twins. So they go over together. The whole Duplicate thing and Rex thing will be something that will happen later in this podcast. So it cuts to the Mahler twins. They're hatching up their plan, which looks like they're making robots. They're making like some sort of like robot army. And I forgot to mention, Robot said that like the game boxes are like technologically advanced. I'm just like, the fuck? Like they got this from an arcade warehouse. Like an arcade warehouse that supposedly has technologically advanced game boxes. Like it's just
it's like Pac-Man 60.
Yeah. Exactly.
Switch 2000.
Yeah. So then they come in, Mark, Invincible, Adam, Eve, and Robot go to the Molotow's base, beat the crap out of them. So they follow their plan. Then it cuts to their local mall, the Twin Pines Mall. Almost said Twin Peaks. I think that's like a reference to the Twin Peaks TV show. The Twin Pines Mall, where a teenager wakes up on a bench. It's like, where the fuck am I? Opens up his shirt and turns out he has a bomb on his chest and he explodes.
So then he makes a boom boom.
Yeah, makes a boom boom. And that's the end of issue 2. So, yeah. So we're slow build, but we're getting there.
Yeah, it's a solid start.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just also want to say the tagline for the mall is also great. It's the mall that has it all. Great slogan.
Even explosions. Even explosions.
Yeah, Demo, you said great. I think you meant acceptable.
Okay, I mean,
Really
we're
belittled
all
his
allowed to have
opinion.
opinions, but okay.
Yeah, so yeah, slow. Good start. Good start to the first two issues. Yeah, Damone, you got the next two.
Yep, I got the next two issues.
Yep.
So we start off this issue with the principal making a big time announcement about missing students. There's 3 missing students right now, and he doesn't want the students to panic. He's saying, "We're gonna keep you safe, even though we clearly can't." But you know what? They're trying. And then the cafeteria bell rings, and guess what? Adam, Eve, and Invincible have the same lunch period.
Oh
Of
my
course they
god!
do.
No way!
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. And as they walk to lunch, my boy Mark is like, he thinks the people who got taken kind of deserve it because they're assholes. Which
Yeah.
And then he calls Adam Eve attractive, and she says, "I'm dating Rex."
And he's just like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He got
I'm about to shoot my
shut down
shot.
before he even had a try. But anyway, they eat lunch together. I don't know. They just eat lunch. They realize he has to go to work. William accuses them of dating, but Mark says no. After that, he goes to work. His boss is a dick, saying that they need fries. A waiting customer is not a happy customer. So Mark just quits when his boss tells him to go take out the trash. He then goes home. They have dinner. He tells his parents that everything was fine at work, not that he quit. And then his dad breaks the news to him that he should probably quit his job because he won't have enough time for it since he's a superhero now. So
I just
he's
love.
really
Wait, sorry.
not lucky.
I just love that. Like, Mark literally says, "Holy shit, my dad's gonna kill me once he finds out that I quit my job." And it's like coincidence that his dad's like, "You could just quit." So
Yeah, it's
so it works
insane.
out.
But anyway, now they're finally due for a father-son team up after what? Like they said, 2 months?
Yeah, around 2 months.
3 months?
Yeah, like 2 to 3 months. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like with like also with like the first 2 issues, like there's a lot of like time skip. Like time obviously passes. So yeah, so around 2 months has happened, 2 to 3 months.
Yeah. So
2.5
they're
months?
flying. What?
Nothing. Go.
Oh, but they're flying through the sky, and Omni-Man just goes off like 2 or 3 times, just saving the day, while his son just flies in a straight line, doing nothing. Eventually, before Invincible has done any work, they decide to take a break for lunch. Invincible has not earned this lunch, but Omni-Man is taking it anyways. But they eat lunch. You got it, Mikey.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I like how just like Omni-Man's clearly just stronger than
It's so
Mark.
much better.
He's so because like he's literally stopping crimes like that. But then Omni-Man will say that like Mark eventually, like with training and stuff like that, he said maybe he won't get as powerful as him, but like he'll be pretty strong. We'll see that later in the series, though. That Mark's progress.
Yep. But anyway, they run off, or he runs off, and then he comes back for Mark and says, "I need your help." And they go to fight this little, I guess, extra dimensional alien invasion.
Yeah, like these like these aliens from another dimension.
But apparently, these aliens age super fast in our world, and
that was hilarious.
they're just dying. So your boy Omni-Man forces them back through the portal, and they run away like cowards. And you see that Omni-Man seems to have some kind of rage effect, like he gets angry.
Yeah.
But you just have to assume that's because of the aliens at this point, but you're not sure.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's what you have to assume.
Yeah.
Or maybe he has some deep-seated rage issues. I think that's more likely.
He just
Or
has
maybe
daddy
we could get
issues.
something in a few issues that I think was telegraphed a little too obviously, but we'll get to it.
Or he could be constipated. You don't know.
Yeah, it's probably because he's constipated.
It's the constipation.
I didn't eat my raisin bran today.
But anyway, Your boy Omni-Man tells Mark that he did a good job and they fended off the alien invasion. And it's a good thing that Mark noticed that they were aging quick. Otherwise, he would have had to call in reinforcements. After that, they fly, and then they realize there's a problem at the mall. This town has a lot of malls, by the way, because this is the third mall bombing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
like the third mall bombing.
Mm-hmm. So that's at least 3 malls in this town, which is really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, he finds him. He throws the kid in the air, and then he gets taken to another dimension.
Yeah, he just gets yoinked, and it's like,
Yeah.
he's like yoink. It's so funny.
And then he goes home, tells his mom, and her reaction is, "Well, I guess we have more pork chops for us."
Big oof. I did not remember that.
Yeah, like they go for dinner, it's like more pork chops for us, I guess, and they're just like,
Yeah.
damn.
I mean, this sort of thing probably happens to him all the time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's just a pretty normal thing. And also, like, I want to add something. Like, when he throws the kid, he doesn't even like hesitate. He just fucking throws this kid, just launches it, because he realized. I don't know if he just doesn't care, or just like he realizes he doesn't have enough time to actually save him. So,
I mean, he asked the kid a question, and then the kid stuttered and he just threw him into the air.
That's what
yeah,
he gets for stuttering.
yeah, I guess no time.
You hear that, Matt? Be
He's
careful.
an idiot.
Mhm.
Stuttering.
Yeah, you don't know, Matt. You might have a bomb on your chest, bro.
You're gonna get yeeted
Yeah,
when you keep those pork chucks for us.
Bobby Bear's just gonna come in and eat you. Like,
But anyway, we open up the next issue with your boy Mark coming to Robot and telling him that he needs to pass a message to Adam Eve that the people who are getting abducted from school are the people who are also the bombs. And Robot just kind of says, "You know what? I was already on to that. Didn't know they were from your school, but I would have eventually."
yeah.
He's
such
just
a
a dick. I love Robot. He's such a dick.
Yeah,
Robot's kind of great. Robot only gets better too.
his egos is like up his ass.
But anyway,
As of these 8 issues, he's the only character I really care about.
Gotcha.
no, I completely agree with that. He's kind of the best character so far.
Yeah.
The
There's
only
one
one that comes
character-
close is, gosh,
Was that little girl?
Mark, really, but that's it.
Yeah, Mark's
No,
alright.
there was this one character in like one of the later issues. There's this little girl, and she could turn into monsters.
Oh, Monster
She was
Girl was great.
Monster Girl, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember her. But
He doesn't. Matt hasn't. I don't think Matt's gone there yet. But I mean, you probably read ahead, Chris. But
Yeah.
But Rex will be great
Mm.
Mhm.
later. Like,
Yeah, but anyway, he comes home. His mom is finally starting to be worried because he's in a different dimension. And he tells him it's gonna be okay. And then we go back to lunch, and we find out that they're talking about the mall bombings, and they're trying to keep an eye out. Well, him and Mark and Adam Eve are trying to keep an eye out, but they really aren't good at the whole thinking part of being a superhero.
Yeah.
And Mark just says he's only good at fighting, to which Eve replies, "You're not even that great at that."
yeah. It's like, you're not even that
Really
tough.
brought him down as a man.
Yeah, sick burn.
Hmm.
And then we get a big touch of Mayan mythology. It's the story of a girl who got pregnant when a tree spit in her hand and then was killed. And then there were 2 heroes.
Honestly, though, like, I barely read it because it was too many words. But like, I'm like going with Mark, and like with each panel of the explanation, he's just dozing away. I was literally me reading this.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Kirkman devotes an entire page to the story about Mayan mythology, so it has to be important. And I don't know.
And then it wasn't.
I don't
It
get
really wasn't.
Well, the thing is, like, I think he put it in there just because it
Just
wasn't
to fuck with
important.
us.
Just because of like Mark doesn't think it's important. That's why he's falling asleep.
But like, no, it's got to parallel something, right? It has to have some meaning.
No,
Nah,
It
it
has
doesn't.
you wasted your
I think
time.
he deliberately just did that just to like make Mark just go to sleep, which
Yeah.
is what I was doing when I was reading it. So
Here's what we're gonna do. throughout the rest of this podcast, I'm going to look and find for the moment when this story becomes relevant, and
Okay.
I'll bring it back up and
Okay.
show all of you that there's meaning to this. There's a reason for it to be.
bet.
I look forward to the day that
Yeah,
that
you know
never
what?
happens.
Keep that note. I can't wait.
I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write it
You
down.
also find out that yo, guess what? Eve is in this class too. It's wild.
What?
It's like they take every class and just never realized. And then the teacher is a dick and just says, you lovebirds need to shut up. And then Mark just shuts it down saying, we're not dating.
Okay. Small tangent, I guess, but who cares? I hate this weird trope in fiction where somebody's like, oh, are you dating? And then the entire class laughs. Like, that's how people would react in real life. What's funny about that?
It's called foreshadowing, Matt. Jesus.
No.
If you took a fucking English class, then you'd know. God.
Okay, but like in
Did you
fairness,
minor in English? God damn it.
No,
but in
nobody.
fairness, I think they're laughing because the teacher embarrassed them in front of class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also understand that trope is strange.
It's overused.
I never got it. Like, ooh, you're dating. I never got that.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, they leave the class and then they get a call from Robot. Apparently, their physics teacher is the guy making bomb children.
The asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. This what? No.
No.
A different asshole.
A different asshole.
But anyway, they go to their spot to put on their costumes and confront the teacher. 2 kids back there making out, tell them to leave. So they have to find a different spot.
And it takes them a while to get changed.
Yeah.
They have to find another spot.
So wait a minute. 1 second.
While you're doing that, figure out
I
what
hate
you're doing.
this. No, I hate this.
What?
Is the physics teacher the asshole?
I think.
All right. I would like to say that
But why was
one
he teaching
panel.
about-
Wait, can I say?
But why
one-
was he teaching about mind mythology if he was the physics teacher?
All right. Can I say? Like,
Wait, what?
has nothing.
Yes. Okay.
This has nothing to do with like what we're talking about. But there's this one panel in the background. There was this kid being called over by a teacher. I'm pretty sure that's the teacher, the physics teacher that we were talking about, and that kid was gonna get fucked in somehow.
Oh yeah, he's right.
Yeah, remember he was gonna be a bomb kid.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I got
also,
confused.
like,
No, but
is the history teacher the physics teacher too?
No, of course not. The school doesn't have that low of a budget.
are they 2 different classes? Is there a transition that is just not in the book?
Are we just
No.
stupid that we missed that?
Yeah.
No, because like look at the physics teacher and then look at the teacher who was teaching the other class. It's the same teacher, and he for some reason, as the physics teacher, was teaching about mind mythology, and I don't know why.
Okay. Thing is, I think Cory Walker might have drawn them the same.
No, they're the same person. They're wearing the same clothes.
Okay, then it's probably The
But he's
physics teacher.
All right. You know what?
Budget. The physics
all right,
teacher
how
is
about
also
this?
a history teacher.
So this is a fantasy world. Mind mythology might follow the laws of physics also.
No, it doesn't. Mind mythology does not follow the laws of physics.
I mean, I'm not the physics teacher in this universe, so maybe you want to talk to him, not me.
You know what? Never mind. Yeah, but yeah, whatever. We'll never see this man again.
We need to get Kirkman on the podcast and ask him about this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Were you just lazy? And he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I was just lazy. I didn't care. Like this teacher's everyone's teacher. He teaches everything.
They have one teacher.
They only have one teacher in the
has
school.
one budget, and it's
Mhm.
just the same teacher teaching everything.
Yeah.
God, insane.
Yeah.
But anyway, they pull up to this man's house. Guess what? He sees Adam Eve's face, recognizes it's her, and
No
she's
way.
genuinely surprised.
He also
What?
notices Mark
Crazy.
as well.
What? But he
I
had
mean,
a
that's
mask.
that's slightly better. That's slightly more impressive. But
Yeah.
Eve is genuinely surprised that she got recognized without a mask. I think
Yeah.
that's just insane.
I'm just happy that someone did it. I'm happy he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Someone had
But
to.
anyway, he he's making bombs out of children. He used to work at a military company. His son committed suicide, which caused his divorce, which caused him to get fired. And he's taking revenge not for his son committing suicide, but on society and the quote unquote cool kids that caused his son to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And he's turned this kid into a bomb, not a functioning one yet, but he's mostly bomb now.
Yeah.
But he's also turned himself into a bomb.
Yeah, like
So-
it's like these organic bombs. Like once you're a bomb, you can't not be a bomb anymore because all your organs have been replaced.
Yeah. So for the rest of his life, he's a bomb, but not bomb enough to explode.
Yeah.
Deal with that title for the rest of your life. You're a bomb, but you just can't explode. Proud of you.
He's a bomb. But anyway, Marcus takes this man out to Antarctica and then yoinks him.
Which is what happened in the first issue.
Mhm.
Which is this is coming around full circle.
Exactly.
And then he comes back to Eve, and then he comes back to his and they say, you know what, this is good. We solved the mystery. I'll see you at school. And you know what? He says he's gonna join the team too, which is dope. He's gonna join the team.
Team
He's gonna be
team.
their Superboy. It's gonna be
The most
cool.
original team ever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But anyways, then Mark goes home, and Dad's not back yet. But then Dad is back, and Mom starts crying because she's happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they both tell the mom about the day, and her response is, "That's nice. Who's ready for dessert?"
Like-
Your husband was taken away for 8 months, but less time in our world, where he led a rebellion and was transported back by a team of scientists. And your son found out his physics/history teacher was turning students into bombs. And her response is, "That's nice. Who's ready for dessert?"
She's emotionally destroyed.
I
She's
mean,
been through way too much.
we forgot to mention that conversation with Mark and his mom, where his mom, like, even though her father does these grandiose things, when she goes to another dimension, she's very sad because he was gone for 6 months one time, and he missed Mark's birthday, and that like crushed her. So that's kind of you kind of get the feels for her, essentially, like being a mom who's and a wife to two superheroes. So
It's weird because like she flips from very emotional to emotionless very often. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that's realistic because I never
I mean, listen, this is
had
a
a
coping
superhero as a
mechanism for
husband.
sure. Coping mechanism for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You're right.
Yeah.
But that
talk about
Did anyone
55,
did
or-
anyone mention that the dad is an author?
yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
Yeah.
The dad writes books for travel agencies.
And he's
Yeah.
he's semi-famous.
Yeah, semi-famous. He could write a book in a day.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's probably how he does it.
He says, have the boys send me a couple more keyboards, and
Mhm.
I'll pump out a book this weekend, which is
Mhm.
insane to think about.
Honestly, yeah.
I really wish I could do that.
Yeah, so do
Yeah,
I.
but they're all trash. They're all gay fan fiction. They're all trash, gay fan fiction, and the readers love it.
Honestly, that probably takes him a little bit longer than what he actually writes.
Mm.
He's trying to get spicy.
Mhm.
Right.
That's true.
That takes
But,
real time, real care.
Yeah. But Matt, please go do your thing.
Issue 5.
All right. I'm excited that I get to talk about issue 5 because this is the best issue we read for today, I think.
Bullshit. But continue.
No, I think it has Alan the Alien in it, which I completely agree with.
Okay,
Alan is great.
hold on.
All right,
Alan
but
the
Green
Alien
Ghost,
is
I
the
need to
best
talk about.
character in Invincible. I'm like one of the
He's
best.
good. He's
He
good.
will just get better and better.
Yes. Well, wait, he comes back?
Yes!
Yeah, he comes back. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Remember when I said Robot my favorite character? I lied. It's Alan the
No,
Alien.
he's probably my, because like Alan the Alien, him and Mark have like a really good friendship, like
Yeah.
throughout the
All right.
entire series, and it's so good.
Yeah, but let's explain who that is first.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment. Basically, Mark's hanging out at home. He's doing his work, and his daddy calls him, and his dad says, "Hey, Mark, I've got this appointment, but I can't make it, so I need you to go up into space for me." And Mark's like, well, man, I don't know how to go into space. And he's just like, you'll figure it out. Click. So then Mike says, his name's not Mike. Mark says, hey, Mom, Dad wants steaks. And he takes off. And he goes into space where he has to hold his breath because he can't breathe in space.
Hold on. Sorry, I just want to add something on that. I like how before Mark goes up, he's like, how can I even do this? He's like, I have to hold my breath. He's like, but his dad's like, I can hold my breath for 2 weeks. You can at least hold your breath for an hour. You'd be fine.
Yes.
Gosh, can you imagine holding your breath for like 2 weeks?
God. Can you imagine smoking weed?
And
just being able to have that ability?
God.
Just keeps going.
You could take
Moves
the
to next
sickest
blunt,
rip.
just-
So this leads to a beautiful splash page of Invincible getting punched in the back by the coolest looking alien I think has ever been designed.
Yeah.
He has an awesome space jacket, and he has one eye, and he has 3 fingers on each hand and 2 toes, and he's amazing.
Alan.
The
So-
space jacket is honestly the best part.
Just in case it gets space windy.
I
You know,
love that jacket so much.
Yeah.
And so then he fights Mark for a bit, and they talk through some sort of telepathy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark, I love this bit where Mark asks him why he can speak English. He's like, yeah, of course I can speak English. Like,
Fucking stupid.
everyone, apparently everyone speaks English.
Yeah.
So as they fight, Mark slowly figures out that this guy isn't actually a bad guy, and he's just testing him. And it turns out that the past 15 years, he's been going to the wrong planet. He's part of
The coalition of planets.
yes, he's a champion evaluation officer.
Yeah, at the coalition. Of
And
planets.
he's supposed to be going to the planet Arath to evaluate their champion, but his entire time he's been going to the wrong planet. Which
And he
is
has an evaluation
amazing.
coming up in 20 years too, so he's panicking.
It's so good. Like, and then they just shake hands and he leaves, and it's oh my god, this is the issue that sold me on Invincible.
Yeah, Matt, like the coalition of planets will be huge later, as well as Alan. So you're in for a treat, bro. Like,
They're coming back, so don't worry.
And all this is finished with a again beautiful double page splash with Mark looking back on the Earth, which is just it's gorgeous. This is the best the art has been. This is still Walker, right?
It's still Walker.
Yeah, it's still Walker.
Thing is, like,
this is the best art he has, I think, in the entire 7 issues he draws.
yeah, no, his art will sometimes, like, when Otley picks up the book, he'll make like guest appearances, and you'll literally see his art like change. Like, he literally improves on his art from like the original 7 issues. So
I'm excited for that because I'm reading Amazing Spider-Man right now, and Otley's art in that book is so good.
yeah, but Cory Walker's is almost as good, not all close to like our Otley stuff in Invincible.
It's a very similar style. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Mark goes home and he talks to his dad and he tells him, "Yeah, I just talked to the dude and had him leave." And his dad's seriously impressed by that. Then Mark goes and does his homework.
Yeah, he's like, shit, homework.
It's basically an entirely self-contained little issue, and it's amazing. I really like this.
Has nothing to do with the story. It's just his own thing.
Like the best.
So do you have anything else to talk about issue 5?
Nah, just that Alan's awesome, and like
Alan is great,
and that the coalition of planets is gonna be a huge part later. So
yeah, but you know,
Keep an eye out.
no
keep that in
spoilers.
mind.
Yeah,
I would read an entire spin-off just about Alan.
I'm surprised there wasn't a spinoff just for Alan. There isn't.
He really deserves it.
He honestly does.
Just-
We'll write out when we'll get Robert Kirkman on the show, or
when we,
when we.
not
we'll
if,
ask him for an
when.
Alan spinoff, or like if there was ever an Alan.
What is
spinoff.
he's not doing anything now?
Yeah,
I mean,
what could he possibly be doing?
What is he's I mean, there's this thing called the walking living people.
Some
So
stupid,
I don't,
Never heard of it.
some stupid zombie shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
stupid
now,
zombie shit.
I bet it's gonna be trash. No one likes zombies.
Yeah,
I bet
Zombies are so like 2012.
Honestly, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so all right, Matt, issue 6.
Yeah, issue 6. Compared to issue 5, issue 6 is not as interesting, but it's it's good. William is picking up Mark to go to the college to
Yeah.
go see college.
University.
For that, Mark's playing catch with his dad. By throwing a baseball all the way around the planet, which is a funny little gag. I guess I enjoyed it. Then Mark and William go on a college tour while Mark's parents spend the entire issue hooking up.
You can say having sex, Matt. This is a mature.
No, he
This is
can't
a
say that. No, he
Okay,
can't say that.
when
We
I
made that-
curse, it's a problem. But with Matt, it says sex and can curse and all that shit. That's fine.
Hey, Christian, we don't
That's
say
racist.
that.
Ah, you know what? Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
It is your bad.
And like it checks in with the team, which I honestly forgot happened in this
Existed?
issue, and I don't something about robot. Anyway, so they go to college, and
Robot got another thing. Robot got called up to the Guardians of the Globe.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's gonna audition, which is how it works. If to be on the Guardians of the Globe, you have to
Wait.
audition.
Mikey, what year did this come out? 2003?
2003. Yeah.
So this is before Cyborg joined the Justice League.
Oh hell yeah.
Really?
So did Jeff Johns rip off Kirkman?
Oh my
Maybe.
god.
Maybe.
Jesus.
Is the New 52 Kirkman's fault?
Maybe.
Should we just stop reading this? Should we just stop supporting him?
No,
we're
in too deep.
right?
We're in too deep.
We honestly are. We just have to finish it at this point.
Exactly. We have to read all the way up to issue 252,
Mhm.
254.
William spends an entire page ranting about how he likes to be called William instead of Bill, which
Williams.
feels extremely personal.
Yeah.
And I think Robert Kirkman put it in there for a reason, because he spends a whole page talking about how he wants to be referred to by his full first name, and then it keeps coming up throughout the issue.
But
I have to wonder if Robert Kirkman really cares about being referred to as Robert. We'll find out when we get on the show, I guess.
And also, I like the way the same panels you're talking about when they introduce the tour guide comes in and they ask, hey, like, well, you must be Mark, you must be William. Do you like to be called Bill? And he's like, no, I like to be called William. And he's like, okay, weirdo, and just like continues.
Just whatever. It feels very personal.
I love how insulted he gets though when he corrects him to say his actual name.
Yeah.
I'm not right. Like, okay, Damone, if I insisted you call me Matthew, would you be offended by that?
No.
I'm offended. I'm offended that you even asked. How dare you?
I legitimately want to ask Kirkman about this because it feels weirdly personal.
Yes, he's like, no need to apologize. Could have fooled me.
Yeah, exactly. It's so strange.
Just to sidetrack real quick, you forgot something. We get introduced to Samson.
And Delilah.
Yeah, no, Samson, the dude in the mansion.
You mean Black Samson?
Yeah, Black Samson, yeah.
African American Samson.
Yeah, the bald guy. Yeah, who's just like he's talking on the phone, which will later be revealed to as Art about his suit because he supposedly was on the Guardians and he lost his powers. So
and he's really beat up about it.
Yeah, and they kicked him and they kicked him off. So
right, and that becomes really relevant in like the next few issues.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, so I did forget about it.
Yeah, no problem.
And then William and Mark get attacked by Deathlock.
Yeah.
I assume.
Wait, I just picked up what you said.
Mhm.
I assume Deathlock has a real name, but I don't know what it is.
You'll not in this episode, but in the next episode, you'll eventually know what that thing that's attacking him is. So
Oh, that does come back? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
of course, yeah. Everything that pops up in Invincible will
Almost
eventually
everything
come back.
gets followed up on. It's
Yeah.
kind of insane.
Yeah,
Everything except for the trash bag, apparently.
yeah.
Keep track of it.
That's what I like.
I'm gonna keep track of it.
That's
Here.
what I love about Kirkman
Okay,
and his
so-
writing is that like he never forgets about anything. Like
So Christian,
he
you're in
will
charge
follow
of the
up
trash
now.
bag.
Mhm.
Matt, you're in charge of the Mayan reference, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Ramon, you have to figure out who the fuck is the physics teacher and who's the history teacher.
They're both.
Are they the same person?
But anyway, Mark just changes into Invincible and beats Deathlock, and then William's like, "Dude, you didn't tell me you had superpowers." Which is, I like that people can just figure out who he is because like he's hardly hiding identity, and that's, I don't know, that's kind of
It
neat.
kind of reminded me when that part happened, like in like the recent like Far From Home trailer, like Michelle figures out that Peter's Spider-Man. She's like, it's kind of obvious that you're Spider-Man. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I thought that was pretty. Like I was like, that's what I thought of when I
I
saw
just want to
this.
take a moment and say I love Zendaya.
Okay,
Zendaya,
Christian, this
if
is
you're
the Zendaya
watching this,
podcast. All right,
love
calm
you.
down.
Why are you so against me being like
It's not
attracted
gonna
to
happen.
Zendaya? Why do you got to bring my dreams down like this?
Christian, we'll talk about this later.
Christian,
So
believe in
upset.
yourself. Believe in yourself.
I'm trying, but he's just stopping me every second of the way.
You can do it. You can. Someday you can achieve your dreams of, I don't know.
I just want to hold
whatever.
hands with her. That's
Hold
all I
hands.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, no sex, just holding hands. That's all
You're
I
a
have.
special boy, Christian. I hope
I mean,
I
you
you
am
are
a special boy. Thank
but
you.
It's Zendaya we're talking about.
Yeah. Matt,
Yeah.
please
So
let's move on from my love life.
Mark gets home and his parents are having sex, which is a really funny gag.
I mean, sex again, like it's a what?
I also want to point. I also think it's just kind of strange that her shirt's inside out, and he immediately knows they were having sex,
Yeah.
or backwards. Not even inside out, backwards. Like that just happens sometimes.
Yeah, man, I don't think I like this issue. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think I like this issue.
Yeah. I just want to point out real quick, it's nighttime when they come back. So that means they've been having sex for like, I don't know
The
how
entire
many
day.
The entire day.
The entire day. Mhm.
He's a Viltrumite. They don't just have stamina. They
Take your
have a
time.
lot of
It's
sex.
okay, take your time. There you go. I could just only imagine the friction from like the speed of it. You know,
I'm surprised it doesn't kill her.
think about that. I bet she's into it.
So
Yeah.
then, Invincible gets a phone call from
Omni-Man.
what?
Omni-Man. His name's Omni-Man.
Yeah, I know, but I like Invincible a lot better.
Vince Daddy. Sir,
Invincible.
please.
He gets a phone call from the good tinkerer. I don't forget his name. Taylor?
Oh yeah, Art. Just call him
Art?
Art.
Art. He gets a phone call from Art. Turns out that the suit he was making for African American Samson has been stolen. And he's super depressed about it. And then Adam Eve finds something, and he's super upset about that. And that's the end of the issue. And we have no idea what she found.
But I do.
Yeah, but he
and
does.
that's why you are going to take the next 2 issues while we find out what it is.
Also, I just want to say Art's depressed because he spent time on that suit. It was supposed to be a suit that would restore give Samson some usefulness.
Some of his ability, yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of it, just some of it. And we're gonna learn
that, but he's depressed because the suit he made is super strong and can apparently level cities. And now who knows who has it? Could be anyone. Could be you.
Yeah.
Could be me.
Me? I could have it?
It could be you.
You're the only one.
Christian, open your damn closet right now. You probably have it in there.
Am I gonna find all my childhood shirts that just have numbers on it for my ages? Golly. Throwback references. Yeah, we're kind of the top tier podcast.
Well, throwback
that's
reference
right.
to the first episode.
Huh? What do you mean?
You thought it was a comic book review podcast? Joke's on you. It's a comedy podcast.
But
We're funny boys.
honestly, I feel like this is the best transition to issue 7, where Guardians of the Globe get introduced.
The Guardians of the Globe, man.
They are just off-brand Justice League.
That's what Robert Kirkman did. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
literally the trope
he
of
did
the
a fantastic
Justice
job. Yeah, he did a fantastic job making just off-brand Justice League. So it starts off with a city where it's nighttime 24/7 because a villain killed
League. Mark
himself.
sleeping.
What?
Mark sleeping.
Mark
Like-
sleeping?
Remember that in the beginning?
Well, yeah, okay.
Ah.
Technically,
Mark
it starts with 2 pages of
sleeping
Mark
till
sleeping
Saturday.
and nothing happens. So Christian really didn't need to talk about that, but fine.
I'm so scared. Only for you, Matt.
Are we
Only
good?
For you.
Yeah, we're good.
Are we good?
I'm good.
I'm feeling hostility.
No, you're fine. No, go
All
ahead.
Okay, so we have these 2 villains trying to break into a building, and they're just going in there saying, golly gee, I hope Darkwing doesn't show up, rip off Batman or Darkwing Duck. I'm not 100% sure which one.
Darkwing Duck for sure.
And this
Probably
city's called
Darkwing, yeah.
Midnight City, which is very original.
Yeah, man, very original. And they say, "Oh, I hope Darkwing doesn't show up." And guess who shows up? Darkwing. And it's Batman just without
But without the
pointy
bat
ears.
symbol and the horn. And
and minus the bat symbol.
Also, I wanted to say, like, it's funny that, like, Midnight City, like, there's a villain that had a plan to, like, put the city in eternal nighttime, and, like, he succeeded, and that's why this city's it's night all the time there, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I said. 24/7 nighttime.
Yeah, 24/7 nighttime.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I got this. I got this, Mikey.
Michael, you would have heard him say that if you weren't so hung up on the Mark sleeping thing.
Yeah.
But
Anywho,
Mark was sleeping, so it was important.
yeah. We move into the next superhero called the Red Rush, where we're in Moscow and everyone's just seeing flashes of Red doing super things. He saved a cat. That was pretty cool. So he's basically just a Flash, but a communist.
So really, just the Flash.
So really, it's just a carbon copy of the Flash. After the Red Rush goes and does justice in Moscow, he goes back to his girlfriend, and she complains about how you're always superheroing all the time, and I'm not about it. And he gets a phone call on his watch that says, "Oh, sorry, hero work stuff. Guardians of the Globe need me," and he leaves. Moving next to off-brand Aquaman, which is literally
Your favorite
just
hero.
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah.
He's
He's your favorite hero.
oh my god, I really do not enjoy Aquaman.
Wait, is Aquaman not your favorite hero?
Aquaman. Fun fact: Aquaman is not my favorite superhero.
Sure.
Wait a
Christian.
minute. Question. Okay, so you're skipping straight to off-brand Aquaman, but you're missing the Amazonian.
Oof, so that means you wanted to do Aquarius.
Shit. Did I get the
Wait,
order wrong?
Yeah.
The Amazonian first, and then Aquaman.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm
So-
sorry. Wonder Woman. Bootleg
Off-brand Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Warrior Woman.
Warrior Woman. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So we have Warrior Woman.
She's a lesbian.
Oh no, it's not even. It's just War Woman.
Mikey, do you want to do it? Do
No.
you wanna do it? Jesus. All right. So we got Wonder
War
Woman.
Woman.
Off-brand. Warrior.
War Woman.
War Woman. Yeah.
Is it War Woman?
Off-brand Wonder Woman. Thank you. Waking up after what we could assume as aggressive lesbian sex. And
Maybe it was loving and tender.
they got
It
eggs
could be
afterwards.
both.
So you know what? You might be right. And enters Big Bad, and Warrior Woman just becomes unnecessarily swole out of nowhere and whips Big Bad's ass. Post that, she gets a call from Guardians of the Globe to come in. Then we move into Aquamarine, where he's just sitting in a chair, doing jack shit nothing, as you expect a fish person to do. And he says, "Oh, finally, something to do."
I love his
I
design.
love it.
I know it's supposed to be a joke that is a fish head, but I think he looks amazing, and I love
Yeah,
it.
it's funny.
He's my favorite design for the entire Guardians of the Globe.
It's absolutely hilarious. It's just a fish. That's all he is. Just a
Also-
fish.
Also,
Yeah.
just to let our audience know, each sequence is drawn by a different artist. So like
Is that
we
right?
we got Terry Stevens for Darkwing. Red Rush is Matt Roberts, inked by Tony Moore, who's will be known for like the first part of like Walking Dead. The War Woman is Mark Engler with inker Eric Larson, who's obviously known for Savage Dragon and being an Image founder. And Aquarus is Dave Johnson, and Green Ghost, and Martian Man is Cliff Rathburn, who will be involved with Invincible later, not right now.
Oh,
But,
legit! I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
While we're talking about art, I think it's really cool that the not Batman sequence is clearly inspired by the animated series.
Animated series, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
was
did look
really
nice.
cool.
Yeah. Next up in Guardians of the Globe is Martian Man. I'll let you figure out what Justice League character he's based off of. And Green Ghost, off-brand
Gold.
Green Lantern. Huh?
Booster Gold.
Booster Gold.
I'm not gonna
You got
lie.
it, kid.
I absolutely love Martian Man because it's the laziest name for a bootleg
It
superhero
really
ever.
is. It
Yeah.
Because
really
it's just
is.
Martian Manhunter. They just took away one word.
Yeah.
Everything else is a carbon copy.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
I would like to say I hate Martian Man's design. It just looks so ugly.
It's a shame because all the Martians look like that. So
Yeah, it really is a
you're
shame.
gonna hate it.
I
Yeah.
actually like it.
What? You like it? You
I
like
like Martian
I
Man.
think it's
Yeah.
fine.
you like Martian Man.
Yeah,
Because I love Martian Manhunter, and he looes kind of similar.
I mean, like if you close your eyes and think about Martian Manhunter, yeah, I think they could look the same more or less. Yeah.
I mean, the only difference with their powers is that like the Martians in this universe, they're shapeshifters. So
What do you, okay, what?
oh wait,
The
also
difference-
wait,
the
I
only
actually forgot
difference
Martian
with the
Manhunter.
powers?
Mikey,
Mikey, that's
I'm
what
sorry.
the Martians do in DC universe.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
you know,
I hate you.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
So back to Martian Man and Green Ghost. They're fighting in space a big tentacle boy monster. Obviously, they win and they go back to Earth. And it's revealed that the Green Ghost, instead of like a power ring, he has this kind of. Mind you, this is probably the worst part of this entire series. Is just this one panel of this man coughing up this green goo.
I hate it.
No,
Just
it's a
vomit.
stone. He's
It's
vomiting a stone.
Oh, it's
he
a
has
stone.
to eat
I'm
a
sorry.
stone every time
It's
to
a
become the
stone.
Green Ghost.
Yeah, just
Oh my God.
chin dripping with vomit, and then the Guardians of the Globe call both of them, and he asks Martian Man if he has time to clean up the vomit covered stone. He says no, swallows it, and then they go back.
It's funny because like
Horrible
it's implied that this version of Green Ghost is pretty recent. He's only been like Green Ghost for a month. So and they don't talk about what happened with the other his predecessor.
Wait,
So.
Michael, are you saying give me more green ghosts?
In this series,
Is there a
they only
Green
showed
Ghost
this one, and
4?
that's it.
Do you think?
There maybe is implied that there is a core or something like that, like Green Lantern, but like we don't get any of that in Invincible.
Well, okay, I guess let me ask you this: am I gonna have to see this again ever? Because I do not want to.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to turn me off for the entire comic book if I have to see one more Green Ghost pulling that bullshit that I saw.
No, you won't see Green Ghost. I don't think.
I
say
should
that.
have to see this the rest of the series. Honestly.
Yeah.
So I think.
Yeah. I don't really remember. Most likely, I don't remember because I don't see it. So.
All right. Well, here comes the last member of the Guardians of the Globe, which is Immortal, and it's Superman, and he's fighting
another.
Yeah, he's another Superman. There's like 80,000 different versions of Superman in this world, but this Superman, Immortal,
He's fighting Kite.
He's fighting Kite Man. Thank you. Yeah, which is just
Uh,
a ridiculous
I'm sorry.
villain.
He's clearly the Vulture.
Yeah,
That
he is
makes more
clearly the
sense,
Vulture.
actually. Yeah, that makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, he's fighting the Vulture. Obviously, murks him, and then all of them get back to the Guardians of the Globe headquarters, which is in the side of a mountain.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
what do you want to say something,
What's
Mikey?
the
Go
game?
for it.
It's kind of funny because like he's just like, I'm dying. I have cancer. It's spread everywhere. I have nothing to lose.
He's just
But
suicidal
this
as
kills me,
shit.
please.
He's going out with a bang.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what's he going with the bang?
So once Immortal enters, he's asking everyone who's there, what happened? Why? Who called us here? And all the other members were saying, "Oh, we thought you called us here." And then, boom! Almost all of them, except for Immortal, dead. And
Obliterated.
Immortal's like just decimated.
And
Like
he doesn't even know what happened.
Aquamarine's head's just on the floor, covered in blood.
Aquamarine?
Yeah. Fucking Communist Flash, murked. Yeah, Immortal's the only one left. Turns around and says, "It's you. I knew I never liked you." And then he gets his head cut clean off, and it's your boy, Omni-Man, saying, "I never liked you either." End of issue 7.
Yeah.
So
My face froze.
So did this twist catch anyone?
When I first read it, yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't.
No.
I don't really pay attention to twists. I just kind of read the story, so
Yeah.
it's not
I
something
mean-
I saw coming. But I knew his dad was a.
Yeah, because when like I first read Invincible, like I had a friend who got me into it, and he just said like he just gave me the basic synopsis, didn't tell me anything after that. So like when I saw this twist, I thought it was gonna be typical because like the first couple issues, you think this is a typical teenage superhero story, but like once you see this, you're just like, oh crap, this is not. I didn't expect this. So like,
Sure.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Here's the
But
thing,
also-
though.
Like honestly, like after all of them were like slaughtered at like 0.3 seconds, I was like, oh, you know what? It's Omni-Man. He's the only one that I know who's powerful enough to do that.
yeah,
Obvious.
Right.
Yeah.
Like this is Kirkman.
yeah,
This is Kirkman. You know?
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's you can take the twist as you will. I
Yeah.
didn't see it coming the first time I read it, so I mean it's obviously
Yeah.
different for everybody. So
Mhm.
Sure.
Also,
This leads up.
I won't lie. I read issue 0 too. Issue 0 just starts off with this twist.
yeah, issue 0.
Oh,
We don't talk about issue 0.
Now let's talk about issue 0.
I didn't read
Why
it.
don't
I
we
mean,
talk
now's the
about
first-
issue 0? Is it not important?
Not because
I
like
didn't actually
basically
read it.
not
issue 0
really.
is the recap of issues 1 through 8.
Let me finish issue 8. Then you could talk about it if you want.
I mean it's not really relevant to be honest.
No,
We've already
Alright.
talked about issues 1 through 8, so I don't think we need to.
didn't add anything new.
No.
No.
Yeah, that's disappointing. Well, to issue 8, it's a scene of Rorschach and Omni-Man talking to one another. It's not actually Rorschach; it's Rorschach, but like with a monkey face
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah.
It's honestly kind of disturbing.
Yeah. Also, wait, sorry, Christian. Also, this is when Cory Walker gets off the book, and then Ryan Notley starts drawing Invincible from here on out. So just to keep it clear for the viewers.
Right. So Rorschach is talking to Omni-Man, Invincible Daddy, if you will, about the murders of the Guardians of the Globe. And they actually suspect Black Samson. If you remember, Black Samson was a member of Guardians of the Globe, issue 6, right?
I'm
When they
sorry,
mentioned-
Christian. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Oh, I'm sorry. African American Samson.
Thank
See,
you.
I just wrote down black in my notes because it's just
Because you're
quicker
racist,
that way.
right? Got it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Anywho, Omni-Man is acting surprised about these murders, and they never suspected it to be Black Samson, but it's the only candidate that they could possibly see. And in the background, we see Invincible coming into the house and seeing Adam Eve crying about Rexplosion, cheating on her with what's her face? Duplicate. Exactly. Yeah. So Invincible consoles her, and mom comes in and is shook because this is what moms do when young children are alone in their room, and one of them is like scandalously laying on the other one's lap,
Oh yeah.
flying, you know,
Right. We can't.
as you will.
We can't just move past this great gag.
We
They're
can talk
facing
about
the
it in
other
full.
wall. They're facing the other wall, and she's crying in his lap. So when he
Mhm.
opens the door, it looks like they're engaging in oral sex.
Yeah,
Yes.
giving him head.
Yes. So the mother,
Yeah.
obviously upset, demands them to come downstairs, and gives them the whole "You're too young for this, kids." And dad, being the killjoy about this hilarious gag, tells Invincible that the entire Guardians of the Globe are dead. This moves into the next day, where
William.
Will goes into school
William.
William.
William. He likes to call him
Um,
William.
I really don't like how it's just specifically William. I really don't. But, William, not Bill, and Mark are in school, and love interest Amber, right? Comes to Invincible and gives him a note. And post that, we see a familiar face. The bomb boy.
Derek.
That was
Derek.
Derek. Not
Yeah.
quite bomb, not quite boy. um, William and Mark were talking about how, oh, you know what? He might be going through a lot of shit. Post that, but he seemed fine. He just said, "Hey, how's it going?" to Mark, and one on their way. Then it moves to Invincible fighting a behemoth of an elephant man.
The elephant. Yeah.
Yeah, the elephant.
Who's clearly not the rhino, but I mean
Clearly not. No.
Wow.
That wouldn't make any sense.
no.
But yeah, no. Completely original character.
Yeah.
In order, most original, Team, Guardians of the Globe, Rhino Man, Elephant.
Now that being said, now that Otley is on Amazing Spider-Man, we've seen him actually draw the Rhino, and like the similarities are amazing, and I
Yeah,
kind of
like-
love it.
You'll see with like Otley's art, like especially like since this is the first time we ever see Otley, this is like his first thing in the comics industry for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah.
He like his art like right here, like I was watching an interview about him. He said he just did like this is just like real quick pencils and inks. So like he'll eventually we'll see his work literally grow because he's been doing this for 10 years, Invincible. So like it's insane, like his art growth. It's
More than 10 years.
well, more than well.
You're
Yeah,
right.
more than
2003,
10,
right?
Yeah, so like
Came
more
out-
than it ended like
Yeah.
last year, I think.
2018.
Yeah,
Mm.
so we really get to see his art grow, and you see why now he's doing Spider-Man at Marvel. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So like for the foreseeable future of this podcast, not only will I be looking for that mind story to be relevant, but I'm also going to be comparing Otley's art to his Spider-Man stuff probably multiple times an episode.
Yeah, well, and also what I was thinking about doing is like there are gonna be some really great action scenes drawn by Ollie. Like Demon could back me up, like really good. So I'm gonna like print them out and like show it to y'all first, just so that people can get a visual aid of what I'm talking about, like what we're describing, because it's insane.
I
So
don't think you have to print it out, but okay.
well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Because I'm gonna go above and beyond for our fans. You're welcome, fans.
Or two or one viewer.
We love you.
1.5 viewer.
Yeah.
Is there a way to do like screen share or something on Google
Yes.
Hangouts?
Oh,
Now
most
there is
definitely.
like
But we're
a-
not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to have a piece of paper. It's going to be poor quality, and we're just going to hold it up to
Yeah.
the camera.
Yeah.
And Mikey of all people is going to hold it up. The guy who has had a camera for like 25% of this show.
Yeah.
Mm. But back to the comic. We see Omni-Man getting ready for his funeral. And then guest appearance by your boy Savage Dragon. For
Oh,
people
your
who don't
boy.
know,
This boy's not my boy.
he's everyone's boy. He's the ladies' boy. Mikey,
Savage
would you like to
Dragon.
give some background? Because you know
Yeah,
you know more about him.
So Savage Dragon, created by Eric Larson, obviously one of the founders of Image. It's still going on right now. Like it's all Eric Larson doing the writing and the art. Yeah, I mean, I own like the first couple issues of Savage Dragon because why not? He's a character that exists.
I noticed a lack of you mentioning the latest work and how he went away from the whole action and superhero stuff to more frisque. Yes,
Oh, okay.
porn. Just straight porn.
Okay,
It's
Eric
straight
Eric
porn.
Larson doesn't care anymore. Yeah, you're
He
right.
really doesn't.
He's just doing
That's hilarious.
He's just because it's Image. You can do whatever the hell you want. So
When I
Eric
read this
Larson's a
comic,
madman.
yeah,
he is.
when I read this comic, I was so hyped, and like when I finished it, I was very disappointed because he had sex with no one. Like Savage Dragon has sex with nobody.
Christian, just to get you aware, the Savage Dragon in this is the original. The one that you're describing is his son. So like,
Okay, yeah, I forgot.
yeah. So
I remember we had a conversation about that.
I'm just still kind of amazed that people are willing to fuck the Savage Dragon.
yeah.
Hey, he looks human enough.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't
And
you?
he has a Magnum dong.
Okay, but like,
So-
you see, the thing is, you're saying the words "human enough," and that's what's throwing me off.
Simone, he's literally just Eric Larson's Hulk with a fin on his head. Why wouldn't you want to tap that?
Thank you, Matt. Yes.
Get the point there.
Yes. Back to the funeral.
Christian, sorry, I want to add something. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
go for it. Yeah.
The whole with just for the viewers and stuff, the whole Image thing. You'll be seeing a lot of like known Image characters popping in Invincible a lot because like Image has they have their own shared universe, even though the creators own the property, which makes it really weird. But yeah. So you see like what?
You know I'm gonna ask you.
What?
When does Spawn show up?
Issue
Does
36,
he really?
Right?
No, I don't know which episode it is. I've checked the spreadsheet. But
wait, he actually comes by?
Spawn's
Yeah,
in it?
Spawn actually comes.
When we do the Image summer special, that's when like all the Image characters come in. You know what I mean? So like Spawn, Witchblade, Savage Dragon, all that, this Shadowhawk, all those characters come in. Even some of those characters actually make an appearance in this issue at the funeral. So yeah.
Okay. So when we do that episode, we gotta get stuff moving now. We need to get Todd on the show.
You're gonna get
Todd just like Kirkman. We'll have them both.
Yes, because look, that Spawn movie's not going anywhere. Todd's not doing anything. There's plenty of time to come on the show.
He has free time.
Dude,
why not?
I mean, all we know about the movie is that Jamie Foxx is in it and like Jeremy Renner's in it, and that's it. Like,
we also know that they don't have money for it, so
yeah.
That's all we really need to know. It's gonna be a great movie.
Trust me. But we'll see when we do that special. We'll and also in other events in Invincible, I think Spawn actually does come in. Like you'll see like a panel of him. Like a lot of Image characters will make appearances in Invincible because it's technically speaking, it's a shared universe. So
sure.
Yeah.
So back to the dead superheroes. We enter a funeral scene where it's Savage Dragon talking to Off-Brand Rorschach about Black Samson.
Excuse me?
African American Samson.
Thank you.
Coming in. Excuse me. No superhero uniform. Everyone else is wearing a superhero uniform except for him.
And you know what's funny? In the panels you're talking about, you can see there are going to be two characters that we're going to talk about in this entire podcast, right? So there's a character called Super Patriot that's like the dude with the cyborg with the American flag shit. We're going to talk about him. Also an Eric Larson creation, and there's a dude with sunglasses, another bald black guy with sunglasses on, who's Robert Kirkman creation named Bolt, and we are going to do his miniseries in the podcast as well called Capes, and it's pretty interesting.
In this comic, there's like a lot of background superheroes. I wouldn't be. Yeah. There you go.
I don't even know if all of them are like just created for just Invincible, or if they're like have their own Image comics or whatever. But
well, this one guy is literally the Mark I Iron Man armor.
Yeah, I know exactly. Right behind Captain America with vagina.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh word. Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. And also you get to see Shadowhawk, who is another Image character created by Jim Valentino, who was another Image founder. So
whole lot of Easter eggs.
A lot of
So after they're talking shit about African American Samson, Omni-Man begins to make a speech, but in the background we see the Muller twins, first time them together, entering the area. Omni-Man obviously stares at these villains. Invincible says we'll keep an eye on them. And then explosion happens in the background. Who is it? Not the villains that you expect, but Sanford, the butler to African American Samson.
I have a question, Christian.
Yeah.
That's been bothering me for a while.
What's up?
Why do you keep putting an emphasis on African American? Why can't you just say Samson?
Because his superhero name is Black Samson, and you know
why are you
it.
saying African American Samson if it's
Because you know.
Okay, I'm sorry then. I thought you were just using black as a descriptor. Misunderstanding.
You really read the comic. You knew for a fact I didn't mean that. You knew for a fact I didn't mean that. So the butler is revealed to steal Black Samson's suit. The one that levels buildings, as you remember.
Oh, that's funny. It was the butler. Get it?
Yep, the butler did it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I said it's sarcastic, but I kind of dig it.
Oh, you actually thought it was funny.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah. So he had a bright idea to face literally every superhero that there is in a one-on-one battle. And
what do you mean a one-on-one battle? It wasn't one-on-one.
Oh yeah, sorry. One on like let's say 50, 1-on-50 battle. And he get his ass whipped.
I just love his reasoning for why he did it. He's like, you treated him like shit, you bastards.
Yeah. That's the exact reason why I did it, because Black Samson was getting treated like shit.
Yeah.
Then we move to Adam Eve.
Wait a minute, wait, please. I want to point out that the fish wife is in the background.
I know exactly what you. Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. Alcaris's wife.
Yeah. Omni-Man is just consoling his wife. So sad. And she's wearing a nice black dress too.
Mikey, another question for the future, real quick. You mentioned there'll be more Martians. Will there be more Aquamarines?
Oh, like you mean are we gonna go to Atlantis? Is what you're talking about?
Yes.
Look at how we're gonna go to Atlantis.
I'm so excited.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Excited.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
You love it, Christian.
Everything Aquaman related, like, just gives me a migraine for how many times you guys
it could be Namor related
force
too.
upon it.
You don't know?
I don't. If anything, Namor is worse. I don't know why, but Namor just feels worse.
Y'all want to have this conversation now? Namor is the best.
Okay.
No. I'm not debating like legitimately. It's just like if we're gonna be talking about Namor, and if I like Namor, it's just gonna give me more of a migraine.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna just stick to the whole Aquaman thing.
I mean, like, I'd prefer you to just drop all of it, but like, if this is the best,
Not an option.
All right. So
continue, Chris.
we enter the team quarters, headquarters. Sorry, and Adam and Eve sees Rexplosion and multiplicate. What's it? That's duplicate. Hanging out, and if you remember, Rexplosion and Adam and Eve had a thing and now cheated on her with
Duplicate.
Why am I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like
It is-
not remembering this the completely useless side character's name?
Yeah,
It's
I
so
mean,
weird.
and it's funny because like I mean I forgot to add it earlier, but like when she's in Mark's room, she says that he wasn't because she caught them having sex, but
Mhm.
he was having sex with the multiple versions of Duplicate at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. That I like I
That's
don't support cheating, right? But that's hot. I don't care who you are. That's hot.
No, yeah, that's definitely the best way to use that power. I think.
oh,
Most
God.
definitely.
No,
Yeah, for good. Using it for good.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
for public service.
for the
For the
betterment
better of
everyone involved,
mankind.
I'm sorry. Did you say for public service?
Who?
I did.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So after Adam Eve storms off, we go back to Invincible entering his room, opening a letter that he got from Amber, a girl from school, and smiling at it. Then he hears rocks being thrown at his window. And as he leaves, William, sorry.
William.
Willie, not Billy or Bill, hits
Willie.
him with a rock and asks, "Hey man, since you got superpowers, why don't you take me with a lift? Take me up for a ride." And he begrudgingly accepts and says, I quote, "This is so gay," as he holds his friend William in his hands and flies off into the distance.
Okay, if y'all are wondering, this will be a budding joke throughout the entire series.
Can't wait. Absolutely
Yeah.
cannot wait.
Everyone just ask him to fly. It's great.
Mhm. Yeah. And then we move to Omni-Man and his wife in bed. The wife asks Omni-Man.
Obviously, post-coitus.
Yep, obviously post-coitus. It's not clear in the comic, but we could assume that they have a very, very healthy sex life. The wife asks Omni-Man what's wrong, and he replies, "All my friends are dead. I'm upset. Let me be upset, woman." But then she replies with, No, this is different. You're more distant, and it's really strange." And then he snaps at her and asks to drop it. And if you remember, Not Quite Boy, Not Quite Bomb comes back into the fray. Still don't know his name because he's such a completely useless character.
Derek.
I didn't ask for his name. I don't care about his name. But if you'd prefer Derek.
No, I actually like your name better. I won't lie.
Not Quite Boy, Not Quite Bomb comes to a graveyard. Drunk, shirt open, revealing his mom, walking up to the physics teacher, David Hills.
Or history teacher.
Yeah,
or history teacher. We don't know quite yet.
Probably the biology teacher, right?
You know what? He's every teacher. Like, let's just put that out there. But Not Quite Boy, Not Quite Bomb zips his pants down and starts to pee on the physics teacher's grave. And as he's doing that, two nerds with shovels are going towards Immortal's grave and plan to dig up and find his skull, because they believe that if they eat his skull, they will gain superpowers. Which I mean, like, it makes sense.
No,
I
justify
feel like this is like a typical trope, though, like supernatural trope, where like if you eat something, you'll get acquired something in return.
That's like saying if I eat a cow, all of a sudden I have 4 stomachs.
Okay, first of all,
if you have a burger.
Second of all, they said if they drink from his skull, there's an important distinction because Kirkman has a very different book about cannibalism. If you want to read about that, it's over there.
Good to know. You know, I forget the percentage, but I'm pretty sure that the human brain is somewhere in the 90s of like liquid. So it has like a very gelatinous form to it.
Apparently,
like-
you try and hold it, it'll like seep through your fingers.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah. So if you ever like have the option to have a brain, you could just drink it because it's just that gelatinous.
You ever think about like brains?
Cannibalism? No, I don't. That's
What are you
just
doing?
you, Matt. That's just you.
If you think about brains and it's your brain thinking about your brain, and like that gives me a headache.
Okay.
Moving on.
Stop talking.
The Mueller twins sneak up behind the nerds and says that they're going to take it from there and steal Immortal's body. And that ends issue 8 of Invincible. Now,
I just
What are we
want to
doing
throw it
now?
out there. I want to throw it out there right now. At this point, it seems very obvious which one of them is in charge.
is that right?
But they still argue
Is it the
about
one?
it.
Is it the one with the suit or the one
Yes,
without the
the
suit?
one with the suit.
Yeah,
The one who's not out there doing manual labor seems like he's in charge.
Yeah.
but both of them are out there.
But the thing
They're
is,
gonna
they
be
will
doing manual labor to get
continuously
here.
argue about it, even though it's clearly obvious who's
Yeah.
the boss.
They'll start arguing about it soon. I don't get it. One of them's wearing the suit, doing all the science stuff, and the other one's just doing grunt work. It's ridiculous.
Hey man, don't underestimate the grunts. All right,
Yeah.
they're gonna start a union if you do that.
Oh, just wait.
I just
What do you
Oh,
mean?
man.
Oh, just wait.
Nah,
what are you planning on doing?
Are the supervillain grunts going to unionize in Invincible? Is that a real thing?
I can't say. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, see, when you say that, that means yes, almost
Okay.
all the time, Mikey.
All right. Well,
Like,
that's Invincible, everyone. First eight
First 8
issues.
issues.
What do y'all? So, any last thoughts, opinions?
I hate it. No, I actually really enjoyed it. It was a really good read.
Yeah.
Really nice coming of age for a young superhero. I look
Yeah.
forward to doing more episodes of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a good time. I think issue 5 was by far the highlight, and I want
Yeah.
more Alan.
Issue
Um,
5 was great. I character name.
Can you repeat that?
Repeat that,
Damon?
Damone. Sorry.
You know, this is the perfect time for you to be lagging right now when it's
When
over.
we're doing the damn outro.
Mhm.
God damn it, Damone.
We can't leave until you reconnect. We're stuck here.
we're trapped. We're
Yeah.
trapped on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone get us out.
Please.
Yeah, it's hold on.
Like,
Let me put my thoughts first. Yeah,
like
obviously.
this video in order to give us an escape.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe and hit that bell,
Hold on.
or we just can't leave.
We're going to die here.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Timon is so frozen.
yo. All right, Invincible, great. The first, I basically just wanted the first 8 issues to that's basically the whole introduction, and also it's a slow burn, but it's a good burn. It's a good burn too. Yeah, man. Especially for the viewers and Matt and Chris, it literally just gets better and better from here. You'll see why a lot of people love this book. Like, it just gets ridiculous from here. Like, it's great. So
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm used to you liking shitty things. But
yeah.
this was good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. So it's gonna and we're gonna be doing for the audience, we're gonna be doing also the tie-ins as well as like connecting stories and stuff like that. So like the next issues we're doing are the one shots for Adam, Eve, and Rexplode, just to get their like backgrounds and whatnot. And yeah, I mean it's gonna be great. Just wait until we get. Oh, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about just so it's on the spreadsheet already. But like,
Yeah, we'll bring it up when it comes along.
yeah, we're gonna have to come.
Yeah.
And also for all the if you didn't know, all the freaking trades are titled off of famous sitcoms. So
oh,
Really?
cool.
yeah, so I think the next one is called Family Matters. So
I love Family Matters though.
yeah, great
Yeah.
sitcom. So
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, by the way, to the viewers, to both of you, like, you know what? To one of you, and the half one who started at the beginning and left. You could leave if you want to. We're just waiting for Damone to come back.
yeah,
We're stuck here.
How
Like, We
How-
really
yeah.
weren't joking. We're stuck here until he comes back.
Did somebody become the new host? How do you
I
like
don't know.
end the
Yeah.
stream now that Damon's gone? How do we do this?
Do we have
Should we,
to? Do we
should
have
we
to?
call Vince? Like,
Yeah. Tech support, please.
Vince, how the hell do we get out of here?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Matt, you don't really like Kirkman that much because of obviously like you don't reread Marvel Zombies, and obviously he didn't want to write Marvel Zombies, but they gave it to him. So
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I read Marvel Zombies and I hate it. I haven't read Walking Dead, but
it's good. It's good.
I don't like zombies in
Yeah.
general, and Kirkman seems very cynical.
Yeah.
In what I've read, which is not, I don't know, not something that I necessarily want to read in a superhero book, but like his that has at least in these 8 issues hasn't carried through. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
So I mean, he literally has said that Invincible, like he put so much love and like heart with it that the book the book shows for itself how much heart he put into it. So I mean, this is some of his best writing. He did it before Marvel Zombies and before Walking Dead. So yeah, he's just this book, and I can't wait until because if y'all didn't know, there's been a movie announced. Was announced 2017 for Invincible. It's gonna be
Really?
directed and written by Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen because they're a huge fan of the comic. As I don't know what the progress is on it now, but it's in the works. I don't even know when if it's gonna come out. But
Seth Rogen? That's a weird choice, but
yeah,
okay.
Seth Rogen and to
Yeah, I
direct
mean-
it. Yeah, I mean, at least hopefully, but Kirkman's involved with the writing and whatnot, so hopefully they'll with Seth and Evan. Obviously, they're gonna put their humor into it. This book is has a bit of humor to it. So
It does.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some of it's really good humor, some of it's not.
yeah, some of it's really some of it's not, some of it's really good.
Some of it is very 2003.
Yeah.
Mm.
And also not only a movie, but there's gonna be an animated series that's gonna be an Amazon exclusive that's also in the works for Invincible.
I'm happy
the
they
dude-
decided to animate it. There's too many live action superheroes.
Yeah, the dude
Shows
who
now.
played Glenn in Walking Dead, who I love, Stephen Yeun, he's gonna be playing Invincible. So he's
Really?
voicing him. He's gonna be voicing him. So I'm very excited for that.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So
I really wish we could leave.
I want to do an outro, but like
Yeah, we're just
One of
stuck
you
here.
guys-
What?
One of you guys has to have host functions, right?
yeah, I think
No, that's not the problem. We have to wait until Damone comes back.
Why?
Then we could leave. Because we're not allowed to leave without him.
Okay.
He's stuck in the void.
Yeah, we're still live. I'm trying to check the settings and stuff. I don't even know what's happening. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just gonna hang up and leave the call, and I'm just gonna have you guys deal with it. So, love you.
All right, should we just